Should this 13-year-old girl be banned from her school track team? Right-wing Christians think so. Becky is a trans female who's been competing with her girls' track team for the last 2 years, and nobody at the school seems to mind. But the state of West Virginia, like 23 other states in America, has passed laws against transgender activities in women's sports. And the right-wing morality police tell us it's because they want fairness and they just care so much about women's sports, which they never cared about during Title IX battles in the 90s. But there's nothing unfair about Becky competing. She's never gone through puberty. She had puberty blockers that stopped it all. She has no physical advantage. Maybe this is an exposure that trans hatred is not about fairness in women's sports. It's about a desire to impose one religious sex beliefs onto the country. This Alabama pastor and mayor recently used a gun to unalive himself because he was outed by a right-wing website for dressing in drag every once in a while in the privacy of his own home. This pastor admitted to his church that he did it. He said it was for stress relief. His wife was involved. He did nothing wrong, and say God still loved him and he still loved himself. But then those wonderful Southern Baptist Conference leaders, the ones who have ignored and covered up thousands and thousands of accusations of sexual misconduct against Baptist pastors, came out against this pastor and took away his pastorate. And after being chased by police, he got out of his car and ended his life. Is being theologically right so important to you that as a pro-life person, you don't care about that pastor? Jesus was not hated by religious leaders in the first century for being too harsh on sinful people. No, religious people hated Jesus because he loved, sat with, went to the home of people the religious considered sinners. And he didn't worry that he didn't meet their purity litmus test. If Jesus were on earth today, he would stand with Becky. He would go to this church and love on this pastor. And no, he wouldn't tell them to go and sin no more. I just keep wondering, Christians, if you're so fervent to follow Christ and wanting to be his representatives on earth today, why aren't you willing to lose your reputation with those who sit in the pews with you on Sunday morning and stand with those like Becky? Because that's what Jesus would do.